I'm really not in the mood to cry. Hot girl mode, ready for summer. Listen, the time has come. Do not do this to me. That book is a massive brick, full of fantasy. Hello my friends and welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna choose my February TBR and I'm gonna choose it in a different way this month. I will choose my February TBR with the help of a picker wheel. I have added all of the books that I would like to read in the picker wheel and we will spin it, and this is how I'm going to choose my February TBR. The options that I have added in this picker wheel are both from my physical TBR and from my Kindle library. I have a ton of books in my Kindle library that I would love to read. I'm trying to read at least one book from the Kindle library each month. There are also so many good options in the Kindle Unlimited library, and I want to read these books before they take them off Kindle Unlimited. I'm not sure if they do that, but I think that they do, so I better hurry. So grab a tea, a coffee, and let's sit down and choose our February TBR. I mean, it's not our TBR, it is my TBR, but if you would like to get some ideas from my TBR, that would be awesome. Why not? Before I start spinning, I want to very quickly mention the two books that I didn't end up reading that were in my January TBR. The first book was Beartown by Frederick Backman. I have heard that this book is pretty emotional, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm really not in the mood to cry. Ever since I read The 5 People You Met in Heaven, because I cried a lot with that book, I'm just not in the mood to cry. And also, that was the reason why I didn't read The Nightingale. I think this was either the second or third time that The Nightingale landed in my TBR, and I didn't read it. I just don't want to cry at the moment, okay? I just don't want to cry. Maybe later on, when the weather will be warmer and I will be in my hot girl mode, ready for summer, maybe I will read those then. Does that make sense? Not really, but maybe then I will be ready emotionally. So as always, we will choose 5 books. Sometimes I read 5 books, other times I might even read more than 5 books, but I think that having 5 books in my TBR is a good number. And if I want to read some of the books or skip some of them, maybe pick some other books up, that is also okay. Without further ado, let's start spinning. Let me turn this down. Half a Soul. That is a very good and exciting option because I have been wanting to read this book. I think that I have been seeing this book around very frequently, especially on booktube, because that's where I mostly find. No, that's a lie. I find the books that I want to add in my TBR on booktube, on BookTok, and also on Goodreads. I spy what all of my friends are reading. You know, I do a little bit of a scroll there, and whatever book catches my eye, I add it to my TBR. That's what I do. So, Half a Soul. I'm not really sure what this book is all about. I think that it has to do with fae, so obviously it is a fantasy book, but let's read the synopsis. It's difficult to find a husband in Regency, England when you are a young lady with only half a soul. Ever since she was cursed by a fairy, Theodora Eddings has had no sense of fear or embarrassment. I love that. I wish I was like that. A condition which makes her prone to accidental scandal. Oh, didn't think this through. Dora hopes to be a quiet, sensible wallflower during the London season, but after the strange, handsome, and utterly uncouth Lord Sorcier discovers her condition, she is instead drawn into dangerous and peculiar fairy affairs. If Dora's reputation can survive both her curse and her sudden connection with the least liked man in all of high society, then she may yet reclaim her normal place in the world. But the longer Dora spends with Ilias Wilder, the more she begins to suspect that one may indeed fall in love, even with only half a soul. Okay, I want Dora to be able to have a complete soul and fall in love with the man that she wants to fall in love. That's what I want from this book. This is our first book. Very excited about it. So let's remove this option and let's spin again. This is so much fun. Okay. Alright, Heir of Broken Fate. Okay, so this was one of the last options that I added in this list, but I am low-key very excited to read this book. This is a book that I can find on Kindle Unlimited. By the way, I live in Europe, so maybe some of the books that are available to me on Kindle Unlimited might not be available to you. Also, not all European countries have Kindle Unlimited. I have purchased my Kindle from Germany and I have a German account. That's how I'm able to have Kindle Unlimited. If I had a Greek account, I wouldn't be able to have Kindle Unlimited, which would suck. Obviously, this is going to be another fantasy read, and if I'm not mistaken, this is a duology. I have seen the author Mads around social media, especially on BookTok, so I am familiar with the author. She seems like such a sweet, fun girl, so I'm very excited to read her book and support her. So let's read the synopsis. 150 years ago, the Fae race vanished, along with their magic and creatures. With the fallen Faelands, the humans were soon to follow, as corruption spread throughout the realm. Heir to the throne, Delilah Covington is forced to watch her people suffer under the sinful hands of her father, the king, while she herself suffers his cruel hand. Delilah has longed for change, her prayers going unanswered until she discovers salvation. Fae are alive. We love a good plot twist. In desperation, Delilah flees her home and crosses the border in hopes that the Fae will save her people. Yet she isn't the only one who needs help. Caught in a web of lives and riddles, Delilah's only chance at hope is Nox, one of the irritating yet frustratingly charming Fae kings. Together, they'll need to unravel the many mysteries to bring freedom to both their oppressed people, or damn them all. Sounds really good. Also, I feel like not a lot of people have read the book. Why does it have only 6,200 ratings on Goodreads? We love to support an author that doesn't have many ratings on Goodreads. I love doing that. I get so happy reading the book, enjoying it, and then adding a good review. So that is our second book. Let's spin for our third book. Listen, the time has come. Has it? I'm not sure. I'm scared. I feel like I am one of the few people that are fantasy readers that love reading fantasy and that they haven't read Powerless. Now, I don't want to just read Powerless. I want to do the tandem read because I am crazy like that. So Powerless with Powerful, I want to read them together. Sometimes when I have to read books that are very popular or that are part of long series, I get nervous. I don't know why. Nobody's making me read those books. It's my choice. I am a free person. I want to be like Dora and not have a sense of fear. I'm sure she doesn't have anxiety either. This is our third option. We all know, I think, what Powerless is all about, but if you don't know, let me give you the synopsis. Only the extraordinary belong in the kingdom of Ilia. The elites have possessed powers for decades, gifted to them by the plague, while those born ordinary are just that, banished from the kingdom of Ilia and shunned from society. No one knows this better than Peyton Gray, an ordinary posing as a sidekick to blend in with the elites. When she unsuspectingly saves one of Ilia's princes, Kai Azur, she's thrown into the purging trials, a brutal competition showcasing the elites' powers. I love a good competition. I love a book with trials. If the trials and the opponents within them don't kill her, the prince she's fighting feelings for will if he discovers what Peyton is. Completely ordinary. Now, should I read the synopsis of Powerful or does it have spoilers? I think this book is about Peyton's best friend, Adina. That's what I know. I think that I have come across on BookTok, YouTube Shorts, I don't remember, a major spoiler. I think that I know how this book pretty much ends. That is another thing about super hyped up books. You see spoilers left and right, even if you don't want to see them. They just appear out of nowhere. You know, you're just, la 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 scrolling and suddenly, boom, spoiler. What can you do? What can you do? So I am both excited and nervous. I've heard some people loving this book and others hate it. I hope that I will love it. I really do not want it to feel like a too childish YA juvenile writing type of book because I'm so done with these type of YA books, reading them and feeling like this is a book that I would love when I was a teen, This is our third choice. We will count them as one, not two books. Let's spin for our fourth choice. Okay, do not do this to me. That book is a massive brick. House of Flame and Shadow. I am thrilled. I am thrilled, especially because the second book in Crescent City ended in such an intense and shocking way. I am excited to see how this will unravel. But this is massive. How many pages is it? If I throw this in somebody's head, You're gonna faint. 834 pages. I have heard so many mixed reviews about this book, and actually no, not mixed reviews. So many disappointed reviews. People are disappointed. And people who are die-hard SJM fans were disappointed in this book. This is our fourth option. I cannot read the synopsis, of course, because we will have spoilers. So hide this choice and let's spin again for our last option, right? I'm just hoping that our last option is going to be something from my Kindle. Let's see. Okay, Spark of the Everflame. It is a book from my Kindle. I was wishing for another book. I mean, if I want to, I can read that book that I have in mind, but hey, Spark of the Everflame is our last choice here that was selected, so it is what it is. I'm adding it to my TBR for February, and we will see if I will end up reading it. Again, I feel like Spark of the Everflame is a very well-known and loved series. Do I know what this book is all about? What this series is all about? No. Even if I have heard other people talk about the book in their videos, I just do not remember. It has 4.21 stars on Goodreads, so apparently it is a very loved book. The synopsis looks too long for me to read, but let's do it. Why not? I feel like sometimes reading synopses in videos might be boring for the viewer. What do you think? Do you think that reading the synopsis of a book is boring or not? Let me know in the comments. I would love to know. So, when old secrets catch fire, everything will burn. In a mortal world colonized by the gods and ruled over by the descended, their cruel offspring, how do I pronounce this name? Diem? I will say Diem Bellator yearns to escape the insular life of her poor village. Her mother's sudden disappearance and the discovery of a dangerous secret about her past offer Diem an unexpected opportunity to enter the dark world of descended royalty and unlock the web of mysteries her mother left behind. With the Diem King's handsome, mysterious heir watching her every move and a ruthless mortal alliance recruiting her to join the growing civil war, Diem, I'm really hoping that I'm not mispronouncing the name, Diem will have to navigate the unwritten rules of love, power, and politics in order to save her family and all of mortal kind. Is this a YA book or not? Let's look that up, okay? Why not? Okay, my SD card got full. Moving on. So Spark of the Everflame is not a YA book. Love that. Because YA books are a hit or miss for me. So I think that it is easier for me to enjoy an adult fantasy book than it is to enjoy a YA fantasy book. I mean, it always depends. It depends. But Spark of the Everflame is our last choice for the month of February. So let's go through my TBR one more time. The first book that I have is Half a Soul. Then I have Powerless with Powerful, the tandem read. We have Heir of Broken Fate, House of Flame and Shadow, and Spark of the Everflame. I never remember if I am mentioning the books in the right order, in the order that I picked them. I think that I always mix them up, but it doesn't matter. So this is my February TBR, full of fantasy, not even another genre in sight. We love to see it. I am such a huge fantasy fan, so it doesn't get better than that, I feel like. As I always say, I might end up not reading some of these books and I might end up reading something else. It also depends on my mood. I cannot make myself read a book, because if I make myself read a book, I might end up hating it, and we don't want this to happen. You know, sometimes you just want to read a book at the right time. The right book at the right time. This is my February TBR. I am thrilled about it. Let me know some of the books that you are planning on reading during February. Let me know down in the comments. I always love adding more books in my never-ending TBR. Thank you all so much for watching my video. I hope you liked it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye friends!